Welcome back to Judo Highlights, and now let's take a look at the highlights from Tashkent, Day 1. First we're going to start with some top Ippons, we'll look at a big upset, some crazy techniques, and lastly we'll look at the results for the day. And if you like this content, consider subscribing, liking the video, also hitting the join button and becoming a member of the channel would really help me out too. So let's get into it. Right, first up we've got a nice bit of NEWAZA by the Polish fighter here. Goes well to stay strong, and then hops on the arm, rolls him over, kind of in the opposite direction. And I like how he's kind of got his hips sunk on his thigh so he can't, shrimp out. Great work there. Next up, a nice little counter, Osotogari, putting his weight down hard on his opponent. And here we see the Japanese judoka with a beautiful tomoe-nage. Resuming now with the Soresuru Komigoshi. And the last one, nice Uchimata. So there'll be more highlights. I'll do a top Ippons video, just Ippons alone, so make sure to subscribe for that one. But next up we've got an upset. Lutfulayev from Uzbekistan in his first contest. So he goes up a Wazari here. And things are looking good for him. Home advantage, home country. I did pick him to be in the finals with Nagayama, but the Belarus fighter here does well to jump on that arm and locks in an armbar. Great upset by him. And some crazy techniques now. I don't know if they're too crazy, but just a nice running Korean seoi-nage here. And he actually gets another one in the same match. So two Wazaris scoring Ippon with this technique. Beautiful technique, nice and quick. And here we have a nice Tani Otoshi. It's definitely becoming more prominent these days. And I like this little kataguruma variation, with kind of hooking the outside leg, ducking your head in there. Very nice. Moving on now into the results. So the gold medal contest, Nagayama, who I predicted to take gold. Pretty easy outing for him, I think. He had one difficult matchup against the Frenchman, but here we see a beautiful Ippon, Uchimata Tsukashi, against the Mongolian. He dominated that whole fight. Had a bit of trouble here against the Frenchman, but shows his incredible defense. And I've got a longer video about Nagayama, his fights on this day, so if you want to see some extended highlights, you can check that out. Just quick to get his arm out there. But yeah, the Frenchman did well, but he was just jumping in for techniques, not really breaking Nagayama's balance too much, and ended up getting countered here. And then pinned down until the rest of the time. In his next matchup, another Uzbekistani fighter, Nurulayev, in the semi-final. Wazari up with his beautiful seoi-nage. Rolls him over and does well in the NEWAZA to get his leg out. So on top here, and he actually gets his leg recaptured but manages to push it out again. Change the direction. I guess it is Yoko Shihogatame. Maybe someone's going to correct me again. And then in the finals against Smetov, so these two hadn't faced each other. Maybe they've trained together before, but Nagayama showing his dominance. Incredible Wazari there. And he stayed upper Wazari until the end of the clock, where Smetov had to kind of chase him down a bit. But Nagayama did well to look busy. See, he doesn't drop down for a seoi-nage, looks for other things, looks for his uranage. So he doesn't get many shiros against him, Nagayama. He's a very to-the-book judoka, always willing to fight, and doesn't play a passive game too often. But all in all, a good day for Nagayama. Gold, very dominant performance. And next up we've got another gold for Japan, Abe Uta, world champion. She had a tough fight against the Mongolian, ended up being decided by shiros, which is unlike Abe. She's usually a very heavy thrower. And against Park in the quarterfinal, she had a nice little bit of Ashiwaza. And just like Nagayama, I've got extended highlights for Abe, so if you want to see more of Abe's highlights, you can check out that video. And unfortunately in the final, she was meant to face another Mongolian, but I think that person was out due to injury. So the final, Abe just came in, bowed off, and easy gold medal. But to get to that point, she had to go through Park, and kind of got up 2 Shidos and, you know, had to put the pressure on. And once Abe started putting the pressure on, it was kind of inevitable. She was just too fast, too quick, and a beautiful piece of Ashiwaza. In the semi-final, probably her best performance. So against a Brazilian, and Abe has been trying this rollover with her NEWAZA, locking up this arm here, and she gets it, and then goes for the armbar, Ippon. So that's a good one right there. And next up, we have the Mongolian, Munkhbat, who had a really great performance. And I think this is I think the Indian's tapping because of the leg. I don't think there'd be any other reason to tap there. So yeah, we'll have a look at it one more time. Just, why do you think the Indian judoka is tapping here? I don't know. I think her leg was compromised. Anyway, a great day by Munkhbat. She has amazing NEWAZA, which you'll see in a minute. Yeah, so right here she gets the turnover. And watch how she locks up the arm around her head and puts pressure on it with her shoulder. Incredible Ippon there. And in the final, a great Tani Otoshi, Ippon against the Japanese judoka. So Munkhbat, she is amazing. And another gold medal, this time for Korea, Unball. Didn't have the best day. Gets thrown here for Wazari and then has to bring it back. So yeah, he gets the Wazari here, and then it's 1 Wazari apiece. But unfortunately, the match gets decided by 3 Shidos to blue, which puts An into the next round, where he is against a Azerbaijan fighter. And a pretty trademark, pretty traditional Seoi Nage here, enough to score Wazari. And then time is kind of against Azerbaijan, but somehow manages to throw Kim with I guess it's a Haraigoshi, gets a Wazari, and then it's tied 1-1 apiece, down to golden score. And An, he manages to pull out this wonderful Seoi Nage, this time for Ippon. Very nice there. And the last throw from An on the day, not the prettiest judo, but gets a Wazari, and this eventually leads him to the semi-final and the final, which were unfortunately decided by Shidos. Anyway, moving on, Smetov, another famous, popular judoka, gets all the way to the finals, where he unfortunately lost to Nagayama, but he had a good day. He had some really nice throws, looking fast. His trademark Seoi Nage here. Drops down, great drive. And another one here, really fast. He's probably one of the fastest to do it. And here we see his variety and his techniques. So a nice kataguruma, hooking him with the leg there. And another really speedy Seoi Nage, sets it up with the foot sweeps first. Alright, last part of the results from me today, but Nurulayev, there were 2 judoka from Uzbekistan called Nurulayev, getting bronze medals. So one for the 60 kg category and one for the under 66 kg category. I'm trying to figure out if they're brothers or not. Maybe it's just common to have similar names in Uzbekistan. But it's nice to see the crowd getting behind them. And I included one of the Nuralayev's throws and the kind of crazy throws section. He's got a nice Korean seoi nage. And I really like what one of the Norlaevs does here. Gets a wazari, nice sumigaishi, long legs, so gets a drive, pulls him over, good control, gets a wazari, and then in the next exchange he's not going for shidos, he's not going for time, he's just going to throw him again. 2 wazaris is all you need, so why not? And then last bit of the action today, a nice little bit of NEWAZA against the Georgian fighter. So nice counter here, gets the wazari, and then continues to pressure on the ground, pulling on the belt, getting the hooks in. Gotta love the crowds, the music. Makes things so much more enjoyable than just silence. So yeah, locks up the leg with his foot, looks for an omoplata. You gotta kind of swing your leg to get the torque so you can roll over, but he manages to get it. Now we just gotta hold him down. So you don't see this turnover very often, you don't see many omoplata rollovers in judo, but enough to score Ippon there. Anyway, that's it from me, so stay subscribed and like the video for day 2, which will be coming shortly. I'll see you again.